What's going on, folks? Rick here, back with another video. And I'm here to do a video of the HTC M8. Yes, I'm talking about the HTC M8. This is a phone that has been out for at least 2 years, and this has been a departure for HTC with their dual camera setup. But most people, they make videos of a phone when it first comes out, an unboxing, and at the most they'll make a video of a phone maybe 5 months, 6 months in. But rarely do you see people making videos of a phone 2 years after it first came out. So I'm making a video here for you people that may want to purchase a phone like the M8, which was a former flagship, but still want to know how the phone functions after 2 years in. So without further ado, here's my video. So let's go over some key features of the HTC M8. And I had my whiteboard here, and I decided to go over some of the main features that you'll find on the HTC M8. And then we'll do a little hardware tour and go into some of the software things of the phone. So you have your power button up top with your IR blaster. You have a 5 megapixel front facing shooter. You have your nano SIM on the right hand side along with your volume rockers. The display is a 1080p display. On the bottom of the phone you have your 3.5 millimeter headphone jack along with your micro USB. On the upper left hand portion of the phone, all you will have is a slot for your expandable memory, in addition to HTC's famous front firing speakers with boom sound. So those are some of the hardware features of the phone. And let me flip the phone over to the back so you guys can see the back of the phone. Alright guys, not too much on the back. You have your dual camera setup with your depth perception camera up top in regards to a true tone flash, and that's about it other than some company branding on the back of the device. Now let's get back into the front of the device. Place this right here, and I'm going to do a quick hardware tour of the device close up. So as you can see, we have our 1080p display right here. Okay, it's a nice LCD display. It's not AMOLED, which is the preferred screen of choice. AMOLED right now with its super deep blacks and its really nice saturation, but it is a fairly good 1080p display. See, like I said earlier, if you could zoom in right there, you have your port for your nano SIM, your volume up and down rockers. Up top, you have your power button, which also doubles as an IR blaster. On the bottom, you have your micro USB port and your 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. And on the other side here, you just have your slot for your expandable memory. On the front, like I said earlier, you have your boom sound speakers with your front-facing camera and LED indicator right here. So that's basically it for a hardware tour of the device. So let's zoom in a little bit and let's get into the goods and the bads in regards to purchasing an HTC M8. Okay, the good thing about this phone is this phone has been holding up pretty well for me. I don't have this phone for 2 years, but I've had it for about a year as a backup phone for me, and I can't complain. In regards to the processing power, HTC has been known for having a really light-skinned user interface where it rarely lags, and I've noticed no lag whatsoever in regards to this phone. So really good backup phone for me. The places where this phone really shines, obviously, is the boom sound speakers. The UI right here, it's really quick, it's really fluid. I tend to use a Nova launcher on top of this skin because I really don't like HTC skin, but you can leave it as is. I like Nova launcher a lot better. And then let's not just forget about the material design. So this HTC was one of the first brands that come out with the all aluminum body. It was when HTC first did it. It was it was the first to the party. A lot of people said that you couldn't do an all aluminum body, but HTC figured out a way how to do it, and I believe Apple ripped them off, and then finally Samsung did as well, somewhat. Going to a more premium design language than typically they would have. But like I said, you can't complain. The premium design of this phone is top notch. HTC really hit it out the park. and as well as leaving expandable memory on there. I don't care so much of the battery being non-removable, but the expandable memory was a big selling feature for me. Now with the current processor in here, it is capable of utilizing quick charge. However, out the box, it does not have a quick charging brick. So you would actually have to buy your own quick charging brick. A lot of the newer phones out there now do come with quick charge. So if you have another charging brick laying around the house from a Samsung device or some of the other newer devices out there, you could utilize that with Qualcomm's 2.0 quick charge. Now, there's one key area where this phone really fails, and for me, for the most part, I think it's the only major area where this phone does fail and continues to fail, uh, including with the lackluster, mediocre sales of the HTC M9, as well as the M8. It's in camera quality. So HTC, for some reason, can't seem to get away from this ultra pixel technology. It's basically a lower grade pixel on their device, but with an ultra pixel where the pixel is actually a lot larger, which it allows more light in. However, this really suffers in low light shots, and this phone is horrible in low light shots, and it's one of the biggest downfalls of most of HTC's devices. Now let's take a look at the camera around back. So, like I said, you have your dual camera setup over here. One is more for depth perception. So, with this, they were really touting this phone as you could actually adjust shots after you taken them. A lot of these features are now offered on pretty much all devices via software tricks and software things that you can do to basically get the same type of shot without having to have a dedicated additional camera with the eye that's up top over there. And like I said, the camera quality is still fairly poor. So yeah, it's one of the major downfalls of the HTC devices since the M8 and now with the M9. But overall, this is a solid device. I actually got this phone from T-Mobile with some of my negotiation skills. I got it for about $135. They are selling this phone refurbished for about two and change. But to have this as a backup device, to have the aluminum unibody design over here, it's really nice. One other feature, well, it's not a feature. One other thing that I really didn't like about this phone is normally the camera hump is protruding on phones, which I typically don't like. But with this phone, I see that there's usually phones have this film on it, so it's like an anti-fingerprint film on the actual camera lens itself. And this phone, I don't think it has it because the camera lenses tend to smudge fairly quickly, which blur out my shots, and I'm wiping the phone down a lot more than I want to. So that was one other gripe that I had. But all in all, this phone has a super fast UI, a 1080p display that's fairly good, front-facing boom sound speakers. You have the nice build quality that the HTC came out with the unibody design over here, and the front-facing speakers, which is a huge selling point, as well as the expandable memory. So as a trap phone, as a backup phone, I think this is an amazing phone to have. Are you planning to take great, super high quality pictures with this phone? No. But other than that, it has everything you would want. Expandable memory, decent display, front firing speakers, a really light UI that doesn't really lag, and it has quick charge capability. So what more can you ask for in a $130 phone? So I'll leave a link in the description down below where you could pick up this phone at the price that I purchased it for. And please leave me any comments, any suggestions that you guys might have, anything you might want to know about the HTC One M8. And I'll see you guys in the next video.